It may be cold, it may be windy, but here in the Macomb Fieldhouse, it sure is dandy. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Edinboro, PA, here for the PSAC women's basketball matchup, where the Fighting Scots of Edinboro University will host your California Vulcans. My name is Hunter Garman. Joining with me today is my good buddy and partner in crime, John Sabe. John, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. It was a nice drive up here. Had to get up early in the morning. We stopped, like I said, nice drive. Got some Tim Hortons coffee. Not sponsored, but still always a good time. And now I'm ready for some basketball.
Yeah, definitely getting ready, getting excited for some basketball here. As you can see on the screen now, the tail of the tape, pretty balanced between these two teams so far. California sitting at a record overall of 10-8. The Fighting Scots sitting at 14-4. The last two games between the two, or for these two teams, Edinboro, I believe, coming off with the defeat versus Seton Hill, and California getting the win versus Penn State Beaver. And those games, I both believe, were California's was Monday. I'm not sure when the Edinboro's first game was, but as you can see on the screen for the starters for the Fighting Scots, Sean, who do we have?
For the Fighting Scots, starting number one, the 5'8" graduate student guard from Buffalo, New York, Gabby McDuffie. Following her is number 11, the 5'10" guard / forward, the senior from Morgantown, West Virginia, Ashton Boggs. Up next, number 21, the leading scorer for this Fighting Scots team, the 5'10" guard, Morgan Gentile, the graduate student from Athens, Pennsylvania, a transfer from St. Bonaventure. And then up next is number 24, Haley Sims, the 5'8" senior guard from Cleveland Heights, Ohio. And finally, the last player in the starting five, the 6-foot forward, number 25, Ava Haddad.
And for your California Vulcans, John, who do we have?
Yeah, one change from the win against Penn State Beaver. Alicia Young, Nina Shaw, Talia Gilliard, the one change, comes in place of Sierra Bermudez, and then Alicia Harris. And finally, Ayanna Williams rounds out the starting five for your Vulcans.
And speaking of Talia Gilliard, you can see on the screen now, there is Talia Gilliard along with a graphic. Talia Gilliard was the PSAC Offensive Athlete of the Week, and Alicia Harris also, you can see there, the PSAC Defensive Athlete of the Week. So two Vulcans top in the top, both players insanely good at their respective roles. Talia Gilliard, the last time she played, was on fire with the three-pointers, and just Alicia Harris, definitely a force to be reckoned with underneath the net.
I think it was 26 and 23 points in back-to-back games for Gilliard, really kind of taking a foothold and taking that step up for this Vulcan offense. And Alicia Harris, one of the premier defenders inside in the entirety of Division II athletics, just a force to be reckoned with on the glass, and that defensive anchor at the base of the Vulcan defense.
As we get ready for tip-off here in the Macomb Fieldhouse, the ball is up, and we are underway, as that one actually will go out of bounds. And as the refs talk it over, I believe they're going to retip. No, it will be Edinboro basketball.
Yeah, Young won the tip, but like you said, nobody could get to the ball in time, and they're trying to make sure the procedure was right and whether or not they would just redo the tip, but it will be Edinboro ball.
Vulcan showing pressure at first, and a jump ball will be called as Nina Shaw able to get in there and get a hold of it.
Yeah, Gentile leading the team 15 points per game, and most of her shots coming from inside that paint area, so she had a full head of steam there, trying to get downhill. Good recovery defense that time by Shaw to get a hand on it.
And just like that, the Vulcans will start with the ball as they really wanted to at the start. The Shaw gets to Gilliard on the wing, and she'll dribble drive in, tries to force it down the baseline, but that gets tipped out and will stay California ball. The refs talking some things over. Shaw to inbound for California. Trying to find somebody. Can't really get too much. Has to just try and get it out. Gets to Harris. And back to Shaw to set things up for California. To Gilliard. Gilliard tries the long three. Count it, drain it, it's good. Talia Gilliard picking up where she left off, 4-3.
So she didn't play in that game on Monday against Penn State Beaver, and looks like the rest was well warranted, starting off hot with an early three.
As a travel will be called. That was Gentile on the dribble take, but took one too many steps.
Yeah, like I said, that's going to be the game plan. Morgan Gentile, one of the the leading scorer for this team, is going to try to get inside of that restricted area underneath the basket. The Vulcans need to do a good job at preventing her from getting into the lane, and that time a couple back-to-back stops.
Shaw now at the top trying to get somebody. Had Gilliard down low, but couldn't get it. Williams makes a nice move into the paint. Has to step back. Floater off the front of the rim. No good. Rebounded by Boggs. Gentile now up the court for the Fighting Scots. Gets the screen from Boggs. Shaw playing some tight coverage. Gets down to Sims. Sims in the corner. Great defense there by Young. She's working against, I believe, that's Ava Haddad. And it will stay Fighting Scots basketball.
And as you pointed out, a couple members of this Vulcan team very just sticking close to their markers, just making sure nobody is able to create some separation, because this Fighting Scot team can knock down their shots.
Sims on the take. Foul will be called. That foul's going to be against Ayanna Williams. It's her first, team's first of the quarter. Didn't occur during the shot, so it will be an inbound. Gets it out to Haddad. Haddad, I believe, to Sims. Sims has that tipped, picked up by Harris. Forces it up to Williams now. Williams, quick pull-up jumper off the glass and good.
And that's just some great defense. Once again, it was Alicia Harris on that screen, just able to get a tip off the pass that Sims was trying to make, and 2-on-1 the other way. Great job, great patience by Williams just to get to her spot and knock that in off the glass.
Immediate double team by this Vulcan defense. And they're going to get a blocking foul. I believe that's going to go against Harris, I'm pretty sure. Yep, on Alicia Harris. That's her first, team's second, as I believe Haddad comes out.
Yeah, number 15 for the Fighting Scots. Rachel Manfredo will check into the game for the first time here for the Fighting Scots.
And there she is, right there, right time, layup off the glass, good.
That was a great cut back door. The Vulcans just caught unaware, and Morgan Gentile with a great pass underneath, just moving the Vulcan defense with her eyes and able to get Manfredo wide open underneath.
Harris gets to Ayanna Williams, who will try the three, short off the front of the rim, picked up by Manfredo. He gets it to Gentile. Gentile working against Harris, trying to find something. Long two, no good. And it will be a turnover in favor of California.
And if that's the kind of defense that the Vulcans will be playing against Gentile, then you can expect a very comfortable position if you're the Vulcans, just forcing her into these long shots, just making her uncomfortable, not letting her get into the paint. So far in the first few possessions, they've been able to do that.
That ball is tipped out, but able to be picked up by Harris. Falling away shot, no good. Tipped up to Gilliard for three. Off the back of the rim, no good. Rebounded by Gentile herself. Gentile has Manfredo. Nice move there, put up, and it's good.
Oh, that was just a great offensive move that time by Manfredo. And Gentile just able to thread the needle that time on the pass, and Manfredo able to collect it underneath, stop herself, pump fake, and able to get around. Great offensive play that time by Rachel Manfredo.
That pass was tipped out by Ashton Boggs. It will stay California ball on the near side.
I do want to say, though, Manfredo, fantastic name.
Shaw kicks it out to Gilliard. Thought about the three, doesn't take it. Working against Sims. Gets it to Shaw. Over to Young, I believe. And that pass, shot's up and good.
Yeah, just some great vision that time by Young, and the Vulcans is nearly able to steal the inbound passes. They're playing this pressure.
Nearly taken away by Williams there as the pass just gets batted out. We'll stay in possession of the Fighting Scots.
As I was saying, it was a great cut back door that time by Young on the offensive possession by the Vulcans. She was able to just trail just behind the defender, and Shaw with the great vision, even though she's not the tallest guard out there, just able to find her cutting back door for the easy bucket.
Inbound gets it to Sims. Sims wide open. Three, no good. Rebounded by Manfredo. On the dribble take, that's number one, Gabby McDuffie. Layup was no good, rebounded by the Vulcans. Shaw up the court, tried to find somebody down low. Gets it to Gilliard, who will shoot the three. In and out, no good. Rebounded by McDuffie. McDuffie to Sims. Tries to get it to Manfredo, and that's up and good, working against Talia Gilliard.
And that's just going to be the advantage that the Fighting Scots have. They have a couple of big bodies underneath, and that time the switch that Manfredo was able to get onto Gilliard, just much taller, just lob it into the post and let her go to work, and that time able to get an easy bucket.
Hand off to Williams, who will pull up the long two. No good off the back of the rim. Rebounded by Young. Young on the layup, no good, but she will go to the line for two.
And you can say this a lot about a couple of these Vulcan players underneath, just so unwilling to give up on the play. You see them grab a ton of offensive rebounds, and that time Young followed up on the missed shot, was able to just find herself in some open space, grabs the offensive board, and forces a foul to be called, and Alicia Young at the line. During that, Kamala Williams checked into the game here for the Vulcans.
Yep. I'm not sure. Someone else checked in for the Fighting Scots. Didn't quite get the number on that. Second shot up by Young is no good. Rebounded by Gentile. Gentile will push it up the court for the Fighting Scots. Good defense by Shaw. Trying to get somewhere. That pass is tipped away. Nearly taken away again by Boggs, but picked up by Williams. Kamaya Williams now trying to find somebody. Gets to Shaw on the near wing, or near elbow, excuse me. Back up to the top. Shaw on the dribble cut. Good spin move. Layup up. No good. Fought for. And it turned over, and it will be Fighting Scots basketball.
And again, Nina Shaw, not the tallest player out there on the court by no stretch of the imagination, as Olivia Huffman will check into the game for the Vulcans. So you got to do a lot to be able to create your own shot. And that time, she found herself in a good position in the paint, able to spin to her left, and that time the left hook just a little bit off the mark.
A new face for the Fighting Scots, number 12, Natalie Angeletti, will check in.
A good crop of Italians here for the Fighting Scots, it seems like.
I believe that is Gentile. Tried to get it down low, and that will be taken out, and it'll be a turnover for California.
And you can see Coach Whaler's game plan here for the Fighting Scots. There's a lot of movement off the ball, just trying to find these cuts in and around the basket, and the Vulcans very quick to switch whenever they see these players passing through their zones and forcing the Fighting Scots into a couple of early turnovers here. That's turnover number 4 already in this game for Edinboro.
Iona Williams gets to Huffman, down to Kamaya Williams. Trying to get somebody. Kicks it to Huffman. Over to Williams again. Iona Williams on the dribble drive. Step back. Trying to make a man miss. Layups up, no good. Rebounded by, I believe, Angeletti. And she'll get it to McDuffie. We'll take it up the court. McDuffie gets it to Gentile. That's Haddad with the ball. Back to, I believe, Angeletti. Angeletti kicks it out. Makes someone miss. That was Gentile. Fighting for it is Talia Gilliard all alone on the fast break. Layup is up and good.
Yeah, on the season this year, Talia Gilliard has 46, now 47 steals if you count that one. Just really good at jumping these passing lanes, and that time did exactly that and able to get an easy bucket at the other end.
Yeah, Talia Gilliard, the team leader in steals here, as a foul will be called. They're going to get Talia Gilliard on that foul, and that will be the first media timeout. Speaking of team leaders, as we said, Talia Gilliard, the leader in steals at 46, probably 47 now. Points per game is Young at 13.9. Rebounds per game is Harris at 8. Assists, Shaw with 61. And minutes played as well per game is Talia Gilliard at 31.6. So a couple standouts here for this Vulcan team. As we said, Talia Gilliard able to pick up her game, especially comparing last year to this year. Talia Gilliard has made a massive improvement.
Yeah, she's really taken that jump, the senior from Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, local to you.
Yeah.
And she's really taken that jump, as always traditionally been kind of that 3-and-D player that you like to normally have on your team, someone that's able to knock down the threes and able to play good defense. And she's not only done that, but she's improved in a lot of other aspects in her game, especially passing the ball. She's been able to create some great opportunities here for the Vulcans, and obviously still a threat from behind the arc, as we saw in that first basket. And she's continuing to play this high-level defense. Her paired alongside Alicia Harris makes for a very good duo defensively for the Vulcans.
We also can't forget the team leader for the Vulcans in assists, Nina Shaw, at 61 currently. Well, 61 going into the game, so definitely Nina Shaw playing a lot of selfless basketball, looking always for the open person, and I believe she already has a few assists this game to start. Hope Garrity will be in the game now for the Fighting Scots. She's number 20. McDuffie to inbound. Gets down low, and foul will be called. I believe that was number 25, Ava Haddad, and she'll go to the line for 2.
And that time they were just able to pick on Shaw a little bit underneath. Like we mentioned, Edinboro has a couple of big bodies inside, and Shaw just got caught on the wrong person, so the Vulcan team had to come over and help, and that forced the foul.
Yeah, that foul was on Nina Shaw. That's her first, and the team's 4th of the quarter. It's Haddad's first shot. Rattles around, falls no good.
Haddad on the season shooting 75.5% from the line.
Second shot by Haddad is up and good. Shaw now up the court for California with a 2-point lead. Score only 9-7. Gets it down low to Huffman. Huffman, nice dribble spin move, no good. And they're going to say that McDuffie was on the baseline, and it will be a turnover.
Just a bit unlucky that time from McDuffie. Just had her heels on the baseline that time, and once she received that pass, was already out of bounds. So it will be California ball and another turnover in this game for Edinboro.
Molly Williams with a nice spin move, but it's waved off as she did travel. And it will be another turnover for California.
And that probably won't be the last time you see Kamaya Williams spin move. Really likes to go to that, just spinning inside, just trying to get – she can finish well with either hand, but that time just took one too many steps on the spin.
Hope Garrity working against Talia Gilead here as the Vulcans show some heavy pressure, just trying to be physical and get the ball away from this team as they know that they can score if given the opportunity, as Haddad will dribble drive in, and a foul will be called, and they're going to get blocking on Ayanna Williams.
And that's a bit unfortunate. That time Williams just couldn't quite get her feet set in time, and that'll send the Fighting Scots into the bonus for the remainder of the quarter, which is, again, something that they can take some big advantage of as a team, shooting almost 80% from the free throw line collectively. So a team that's very good at knocking down free throws, and if you give them these easy points, they'll be able to pad into this deficit, maybe even take a lead here.
Ashley Boggs checked into the game for the Fighting Scots. Harris and Bermudez also came into the game for California. As Haddad's first shot was up and no good, as the second one is up and good. Kamai Williams inbounds to Bermudez, working against McDuffie. Gets it over to Williams. Back to Bermudez. Both teams showing great defense. Gets to Harris down low in the paint. Harris on the nice take. Layup is up and good.
Harris is clinical in and around the basket. And another turnover as McDuffie just got stretching the leg out there a little bit. Turnover number 8 in this game for the Fighting Scots. Something that the Vulcans need to start capitalizing on is just the excessive turnovers in this opening quarter here for Edinboro.
Inbound was to Huffman, and the shot by Harris up and no good. Rebounded by, I believe that's Haley Sims. Sims now working against Bermudez, trying to get things going here as another steal for Talia Gilliard, left all alone on the layup, and it's up and good. Talia Gilliard again with the steal and the layup.
She's just unbelievable cutting these passing lanes, and again, just a great steal by Gilliard and an even better finish.
Haddad with the nice clinical move there underneath for the layup, up and good. Cutting into the deficit a little bit more. Bermudez gets it to Young. Young side, she's going to take it herself. Nice layup in and up and good.
And that's someone that the Vulcans need to get going in this game. Elisa Young, just one of the key sparks on this offense for California. And if she's able to get off to a good start, you'll see it continue to roll for the remainder of the game. 4 points now for her.
That's Sims on the dribble take. Layup up and good. Clean, wide open lane for Haley Sims.
And Sims, the second leading scorer for this Fighting Scots team, just really good at all 3 levels, able to score at will in that time. Just got the lane to the basket, and when you have a clean runway like that, it's going to be an easy basket for her.
Harris on the step through, layup up and good. Sims on the take, trying to capitalize on the lack of defense by California. California able to get back down there. Gilliard working against, I believe that was number 20, Hope Garrity. As that layup up and no good, fought for and will fall out of bounds in favor of California.
Yeah, it was a bit awkward that time defensively for the Vulcans because I think Harris needed a second because it looked like she was trying to grab something at her shoe, maybe trying to tie up the laces or something. And so it was a 5-on-4 for a little bit, but the Vulcans able to recover well, able to close the gaps, not allow any easy shots. And there was a couple of members of Edinboro fighting for that offensive board. And so a little bit of a lack of communication that time as they were fighting for it against each other and knocked it out of bounds.
Looks like they're looking for something on the court. I believe our advisor said they were looking for a contact or something for Harris.
And it looks like that's what Harris was looking for. That's why she was a little slow to get down. It looked like, like I said, I thought she was going for the shoe, but I guess maybe she knocked something out of her, like you said, maybe a contact or something. So it's definitely something that she'll need, but hopefully they have a couple of spares lying around somewhere on the team so that she can continue to see for the remainder of the game.
Yeah, and you saw the good sportsmanship by the Fighting Scots, someone coming out there to help look for it.
It's not easy it's a pretty shiny court. I watched them polish earlier on. It's not easy trying to find a little thin piece of plastic on the ground there.
Yeah. As we're back underway, Bermudez gets it to Harris. Bermudez for the three, and it's good. Sierra Bermudez.
And another one, just a sharpshooter, Sierra Bermudez. Her and Gilliard really just taking the three-point responsibility here for the Vulcans, and another one that they need to get going early because she's able to knock down the first one. She'll continue to be hot.
Great offensive movement by Edinboro, and that's Gabby McDuffie on the layup to bring the deficit down to 6 for the Fighting Scots. Bermudez gets to Young, over to Harris. Harris thought about trying to get Young on the cut. Young just going to take the quick pull-up jumper, rattles around, and good. Shot clock off now for Edinboro. As Sims will bring it up the court, looking to get last shot here. It's Harris playing uptight defense. Sims gets it to Haddad, loses it for a moment. They're able to pick it back up. Gets it down low. Gilliard able to bat that away. A little bit of miscommunication there between Harris and Huffman. But Gilliard now on the break. And a foul will be called. And I believe they'll be doing foul shots before the break. We're going to keep it here for the moment.
It's going to be close down the court. I think they're going to say that the whistle or the clock hit 0 before. So I think that'll be the end of the first quarter here.
The end of the first quarter. California 22, Edinboro 14. We're going to take a break. We're going to keep it here instead, actually. One of the things to notice is the turnovers for Edinboro. They have 10 turnovers, and we played for 10 minutes, so almost a turnover a minute for this Edinboro team.
Yeah, that was the third steal of the game by Gilliard already. Like I said, just an absolute ball hawk. And the reason we're keeping it here is because the officials are going to the review to make sure, since they did call a foul, to see if the timer went off before the foul occurred, to see if Gilliard will be at the line or if that'll be the end of the quarter. So the referees are meeting over by the scores table, taking a look to see whether or not that the foul occurred before the clock hit double zeros.
As we said, Edinboro with 10 turnovers in the 10 minutes. A turnover a minute kind of did that game inside a game last week or on Monday with Penn State Beaver, and you wonder if the same thing could be possible here.
Yeah, it's just a great start by Gilliard, isn't it? 7 points for her, 3 for 5 from the field, a rebound, and 3 steals already in that opening quarter. Again, the officials just going over, just trying to make sure, see how much time was remaining. And
as the refs confirming, we might have the official verdict here as they continue to talk it over.
It was close down the stretch there. You're looking at a couple tenths of a second difference between when the foul maybe occurred and the free throws, and now the referee's calling over both coaches to kind of have this finalized discussion.
As we go back to talking about Talia Gilliard and the game she's having so far, she was absent in the game versus Penn State Beaver. Now, the score really told you that it didn't matter too much, but they definitely missed Talia Gilliard on that side of the ball, on the offensive side of the ball. A lot of the three-point shooting during that game was on Sierra Bermudez, but still Gilliard has massively improved herself, as we said, from the previous year, excuse me, and definitely showing herself this season.
Yeah, coming into this game, the Gilliard and Bermudez respectively have made 58 out of the team's 91 made threes on the season. So those two taking almost 2/3 of the team's threes just combined. So like we mentioned, when you don't have one of them out there, the burden on the rest of the team goes up. But in that game against Penn State Beaver, I think it was one where both teams kind of knew the outcome, and it looks like they're bringing Gilliard out to shoot the free throws here.
At the end of the first quarter, there was a foul called on Edinboro number 25, Ava Haddad.
Yeah, Ava Haddad will be charged with the foul. That'll be her first. The team's second, and Talia Gilliard will go to the line for 2 to end the quarter.
Now Gilliard, the lonely member on the court.
So the first shot's up and good. Gilliard looking to extend the lead to 10 before the end of the first quarter, as the second shot is up and good. And at the end of the first quarter, California 24, the Edinboro Fighting Scots 14. We'll send it to a commercial. You're listening to CUTV Sports 1 and the PSAC Digital Network.
Coach Danny Sancombe and the Vulcans men's basketball is ready to take the conference and the nation by storm this season. A non-conference schedule that starts on November 8th is followed by the PSAC West play in January. Pack the Convocation Center with 13 home games featuring non-conference foes such as Concord, Lincoln, and Wilmington, as well as conference opponents IUP, Gannon, Slippery Rock, Clarion, Edinboro, Seton Hill, and Pitt Johnstown. Follow Cal Vulcans for the all-up-to-date schedule. Catch all the games on YouTube with CUTV Sports 1 and also the PSAC Digital Network.
If you're buzzed and doing this to make yourself feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive.
Welcome back to the Macomb Fieldhouse here in Edinboro, Pennsylvania. After an interesting end to the first quarter, California 24, the home team, Edinboro Fighting Scots 14. So 10-point deficit. Edinboro will start with the ball to start the second quarter. Inbound is to Morgan Gentile. Gentile will get it to Sims. Again, the Vulcans playing some nice uptight defense. Gentile working against Young. Gets it to Manfredo. Over to McDuffie. Sims with the long two. No good. Rebounded by Young. Young pushing up the court. Working on a 5-on-4 at the moment. Wide open down low. And a blocking will be called. And Huffman will go to the line for a three-point play.
And that's something that teams practice all the time is that 5-on-4, 4-on-3 type of play where you have the one-person advantage. And that time, I believe it was Haddad just took a hard hit to the floor, and so the Vulcans capitalized. They have the one-man advantage. They able to pass the ball around, able to find Huffman underneath, and Huffman able to finish with the contact.
Huffman's foul shot up and no good. Rebounded by McDuffie. Morgan Gentile with the ball, working against Huffman, trying to find something. Drives the baseline, and a foul will be called. It'll be against Livia Huffman. That'll be her first, team's first of the quarter. Occurred underneath, so it will be an inbound.
And that's kind of that's one of the problems that you can run into when you're playing just such uptight, just smothering defenses. If the person is able to get by you, to try to recover, you might have to enforce a little bit of contact, and that time Huffman got called.
As that shot there by Haddad is up and good. Gentile tried to play a little bit of pressure, was able to get it away. As Bermudez tries to get it down low to Harris, and that's taken away by, I believe, Haddad. Haddad working on the 3-on-2. Actually, that wasn't Haddad, excuse me. That was Manfredo to Haddad. Over to McDuffie, excuse me. Down low to Gentile. Gentile, nice dump down look, and a foul will be called. And Ava Haddad will go to the line for a three-point play.
Just a great crossover on the far side by Gentile to create the space, and just finds Haddad underneath, and Huffman tried to recover, tried to get a head on top of it, tried to force that jump ball, but great composure and great control underneath by Haddad to hold on to the ball, get it up, draw the contact, and knock down the basket.
Foul was on Olivia Huffman. That was her second and the team's second of the quarter, so she'll go take a seat for right now, and Kamaya Williams will check into the game for the Vulcans.
And Huffman, a key rotational piece here for the Vulcans. Just that front court separation, and it looks like they're going to do another official review. I don't know what they're going to go back to look at.
Previous play is under review.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're looking at. I don't know, maybe if they saw something that may have been like a flagrant, like technical foul, but it's hard to tell. I mean, what I saw was just plain contact, but I don't know about you, Sape, but I'm not sure what exactly they're reviewing, as one of the referees is talking with Coach Strom and assistant coach Tetzlaw.
Yeah, it didn't look anything too egregious. To me, it looked like Huffman underneath just tried to get a ball, or get a hand on top of the ball and try to maybe force a jump ball and just try to rip it out. I don't know, like you said, maybe they're looking to see if it was something a bit more intentional, a little bit more dangerous, but either that or maybe to see if somebody was out of bounds or something. I have no idea. Well, like I said, we don't really have the communication with the referees to see, but this is a huge matchup in the PSAC West. Just there's a kind of a three-tier system going on in the PSAC West right now, where you have Seton Hill undefeated in conference play, 17-1 overall. They sit at the top, and then you have three teams sitting at 9-2, Gannon, IUP, and Edinboro, and then you kind of have the class underneath of them with Clarion, California, and Slippery Rock, and then UPJ 0-12 in conference play. So this game is big for both teams, where if you're Edinboro, you can kind of keep pace in the PSAC West, and if you're California, you can try to claw your way back up the standings and try to force something later on in the season. It looks like there is a decision made on the court.
Waiting on the true official call right now, as the rest will talk with the coaches. Looks like Coach Wheeler isn't insanely happy with what was decided.
Was charged with a 30-second timeout. Check it in from Vulcans, number 11, Kamaya.
Looks like Edinboro was charged with a 30-second timeout. As Haddad will go to the line for one shot.
If I had that, will attempt the N1 free throw.
Eva Haddad with the potential three-point play, and the shot is good. Inbound from Kamaya Williams to Sierra Bermudez. Bermudez gets it to Williams. Handoff to Gilliard. Back to Williams again. Trying to find someone to set things up. Williams kicks it over to Gilliard, who will try for three. Off the back of the rim, no good. Long rebound by Williams. Gets it to Bermudez. Bermudez trying to get people to get going here. Gets it to Williams. Over to Harris. As the shot clock winds down, Harris will try the shot from the foul line. No good. Rebounded by McDuffie. Gentile has Haddad down low. Layup up and good. Ava Haddad cutting into this lead.
And that play was entirely made by Rachel Manfredo, just kind of boxing out Kamaya Williams on the back end, not allowing her to get back on defense and allowing the easy bucket underneath.
Harris working against Manfredo. Layup no good, but taken away by Williams, and that ball will be tipped out and will stay Vulcan basketball, as Nina Shaw will come in for California in place of Sierra Bermudez.
Kamaya Williams on the scene there just to grab the offensive rebound after the ball bounced around a little bit, but another great recovery by Manfredo, able to get a hand on it, get the block.
Shaw inbound to Harris. Long pass. Gets it over to Young. Young tries the three off the back of the rim. No good. Rebound bottled around. Picked up by McDuffie. And gets it to Gentile, who now keeps her eyes down court. Nice move on Shaw. Gentile now. The foul will be called. I believe they're going to get Shaw on the foul. That'll be Shaw's second and the team's third.
And again, that's where playing that just full pressure defense can really come back to bite you, is if the attacking player is able to get by you, to try to recover, you might have to get some hands on, maybe apply a bit of contact. And so Shaw will pick up her second foul, and Maya Morgan will check into the game for the first time here for California.
Yeah, new face for California as Morgan Gentile thought about the 3-ball, doesn't take it, gets it down low to Haddad, working against Morgan. Nice look down low to Manfredo, and it's up and good.
Manfredo now 8 points, 4 for 4 from the field, just able to feast inside, getting these high look shots right around the basket.
Young on the take, no good, fought for. Jump ball will be called. It's great effort by Williams to try and keep it in possession of California, and it will stay California ball.
A great effort that time by Williams, just surrounded by 3 or 4 fighting Scots and able to just hop on top of that basketball and maintain possession here for California.
Gilliard, long pass to Williams for the inbound. Handoff to Maya Morgan. Gets it to Harris. Harris at the top on the dribble take. Quick pull-up jumper, no good. Rebounded by Manfredo. Gets to Haddad, then to Sims. Sims now on the take, gonna take it herself. Layup, no good. Rebounded by Harris now. Back the other way. Almost a 3-on-2, 4-on-2. Maya Morgan for the 3, and it's good. Count it, Maya Morgan.
Yeah, and the Vulcans capitalize in transition, 4-on-3 the other way. A couple of the Vulcans just used there as distractors just to create the space, and Morgan falling behind, trailing behind, able to knock down the three-pointer, her first basket of the game.
And Coach Wheeler looked like she wanted to travel as McDuffie is all alone for 3. Got it, counted, it's good.
Again, great ball movement that time by the Fighting Scots. McDuffie left wide open in that corner on the season, shooting over 30% from 3. So the Vulcans need to make sure that she doesn't find herself with a couple more of those looks.
Maya Morgan gets it to Gilliard, tries to get it off. As that hits the top of the backboard, the crowd not happy with the decision as it hits the board and goes out the back, and it's ruled initially as Vulcan basketball.
And I think the referee that called it said that it was tipped off of a Fighting Scots player into the underneath of the backboard, and I think everybody else in the entire gymnasium is saying otherwise.
Yeah, everyone not happy with that decision as Harris has that tipped away by Manfredo, but it will stay Vulcan basketball.
And Manfredo's putting in some work in this game already. 8 points, that's block number 3 already on the afternoon for Rachel Manfredo.
The kickball will be called, and it will stay California ball. Sims just trying to keep it away from California. Clearly wanting to get the ball back after the not disagreeable but controversial call, according to at least the whole Macomb Fieldhouse. As Young gets to Harris, back to Young. Young driving the baseline. Follow-away jumper, no good. Rebounded, bobbled around, picked up by Manfredo, and gets it to Morgan Gentile now. Back the other way. Gets it, tries to get it at least to Haddad, picked up by Gilliard. Who else? The leader in steals for this California team. And she's going to take it herself. Rebound blocked away, layup picked up by Manfredo. As Sims now will go the other direction. Back and forth play here, and a foul will be called. And that will be foul number 4 for the California team this quarter.
Yeah, you usually see the term in soccer games, just end-to-end game, where you're kind of just going back and forth at a breakneck pace, and that's the last couple of possessions, just going back and forth, and just odd man advantages going either way. And that time, Sims able to get into the lane and able to draw the contact as the Vulcans were trying to recover defensively with Gilliard trailing just behind.
Sims with the long 2, no good. Rebounded by Harris, but that will be batted out as she couldn't haul it in.
Yeah, usually the master, the expert at that type of play, just able to corral in these rebounds, just has such a long radius. And that time, I think she thought it was just so easy. I think it just got into her head a little bit.
Morgan Gentile with the quick jumper up and good. Edinboro definitely trying to get Morgan Gentile more involved here, as she is one of the top scorers here for this Fighting Scots team. As Gilliard gets it to Williams. Kicks it out to Young. Young trying to direct some kind of traffic, maybe get a screen from somebody. Young, quick 2. It's good. Nice long 2 by Alicia Young.
And the Vulcans they were 1 for their last 10 from the field after shooting well over 50% in that first quarter. They just needed a basket to calm the nerves down a little bit.
as some subs will move to the sideline. That's a nice move there by McDuffie. Quick jumper, no good. Definitely want to hit those after making a move like that. But Gilliard back the other way for California now. Trying to get something set as the time winds down. Williams over to Young. Young thought about the shot, drives baseline, and a foul will be called, and she'll go to the line for 2.
Yeah, you can just feel the energy shifting a little bit in favor of Edinboro. They're really starting to pick it up defensively, outscoring California 14-7 in this quarter. But Alicia Young has a chance to extend this Vulcan lead at the line as a duo of substitutions for California. Sierra Bermudez checks back in, and Hope Hawkins will check in for the first time this game for the Vulcans.
And I believe Boggs comes in for Edinboro. That's the first shot by Young, up and good.
And another substitution, number 20, Hope Garrity checks in for the first time, I believe, here for Edinboro in this game.
Young's second shot up and good. Gentile with the inbound, gets it back to her. Gentile working against Bermudez. Vulcans playing man defense as they switch off. Gentile on the layup, has it tipped away, and it's going to be off of Haddad and in favor of California.
And that was just some great team defense by the Vulcans. Gentile able to get past her man, and that time it was Alicia Young sliding over on the backside and able to get the block on it, and a couple of Fighting Scots fighting for the basketball, and ends up coming off of them out of play.
Hope Hawkins in the post, working around Haddad.
Nice
Shots
move.
off, and it's good. And Hope Hawkins will go to the line for a three-point play. Hope Hawkins, a fan favorite on the California bench, and she gets that big play.
Yeah, that's some Hakeem Olajuwon footwork in the post there, just up and under, just trying to create just enough space and able to finish high off the glass and in, and a big play, a three-point play opportunity for Hope Hawkins.
As the shot's up and rattles around, it's good. Hope Hawkins with the three-point play for California. Gentile working against Williams, gets it to Sims. Sims thought about getting someone down low. Sims working. Layup taken, no good. Picked up by Young. That's on Bermudez now on the break. Kind of all alone on an island. Has to find somebody. Gets it to Young. What a cut, what a move. Alicia Young on the break for 2.
And that was a gamble by Gentile trying to steal it away, so that it gave the Vulcans an advantage underneath. Great patience that time by Bermudez, just slowing up, trying to wait for a player to come to help.
McDuffie with a quick pull-up jumper, no good. Rebounded by Bermudez. Bermudez now working against McDuffie. Makes a nice move to keep it away. And now is going to slow things down and set it up for California. Gets it over to Williams. Now down to Hope Hawkins in the post. Has that batted away, and it will stay Vulcan basketball as Maya Morgan looks to check back into the game for California.
The Vulcans on a 9-0 run here in the last 2 minutes and 13 seconds. And after a flurry of points there by the Fighting Scots, they were really able to close it down, narrowing things down in California, just shoring things back up on the defensive side of the ball.
Bermudez to inbound. Gets it to Hawkins. And a charge will be called against Hawkins.
Hawkins again just trying to find that spot in the low post and just lowered the shoulder a little bit, and those are the kind of plays he made. It was Boggs who just took it right to the chest, and those are the type of fouls that you need to take if you're the Fighting Scots to get back into the game. Someone needs to do the dirty work.
Yep. It was a great effort by Boggs to just stand in there and take the contact. As Garrity gets it back to Gentile. Gentile tries to get it down low. Has that batted away, but it will be an over-the-top foul by Hawkins.
Again, Hawkins just saw an opportunity there, and that time just too strong going in behind, and that'll send the Fighting Scots into the bonus for the last 2:24 here of the second quarter.
Yeah, both quarters in a row so far. The Fighting Scots have entered the bonus before the end of the quarter. This first shot by Manfredo's up and good. Manfredo coming into this game shooting 11 of 13, and she makes both of those. So shooting 84% from the charity stripe, makes both of those in this game. As Bermudez working against McDuffie, and a foul will be called against Bermudez. Actually, excuse me, it'll be called against McDuffie. As Sims will come back in for McDuffie.
Haley Sims, number 24, returns to the Edinboro.
Bermudez to inbound. Gets it to Gilliard. Has to try and get it to somebody as they play heavy defense. Bermudez now at the top of the key. The final 2 minutes ticking down. Bermudez on the dribble take. Nice spin move down low, but they're going to wave it off and say that she traveled.
Yeah, sometimes the move looks too good to be true, and that time picked up her dribble just a little bit too early and forced her to take one too many steps. She was trying to make her way into the lane there.
Gentile gets it down low to Sims. Not down low, but at the elbow. Sims, a foul will be called. They're going to get Maya Morgan on that foul. That's her first. And Sims will be at the line for 2.
Sims on the season, 84.6% at the line.
Sims' first shot up and good. Cutting the lead down to 7. Looks to try and cut it to 6 before the half. Burrow trying to look to close in the lead, or close in the deficit, maybe even take the lead here at the end of the half, as that shot is up and good.
And that's something that the Vulcans need to monitor here for the remainder of this game. Both quarters find themselves in the bonus, or Edinboro find themselves in the bonus. So California, the fouls are going to start piling up, and you're going to start to try to see what players are available towards the end of the game if the fouls continue like this.
Hope Hawkins down low, hits the shot up, no good. Rebounded by Kamai Williams, who will try and put it up, but gets fouled, and she'll head to the line for 2.
Again, Hawkins just so powerful underneath, just forces a ton of attention. And Kamaya Williams left unattended and able to grab that another offensive rebound here for the Vulcans. That's number 7 in the game already for California. Kamaya Williams will find her way to the line.
First shot up and good by Williams. As both teams now have entered the bonus. Second shot is up and good by Kamai Williams. Vulcans now showing some heavy pressure. Decide to pull back. Sims now at the top, working against Morgan. Sims able to get around her defender. Manfredo down low to Boggs, loses it for a moment, able to pick it back up, gets it to Gentile for the long 3, counted, it's good.
Just the ball, it was like ping ball going all around, and that time Morgan Gentile just found herself wide open at the top of the key on the season, shooting just under 28%.
Maya Morgan gets Gentile to miss, shot up off the front of the rim, no good. Definitely want to make those. As they're going to get a travel. Crowd and Coach Wheeler not exactly happy with that, but from up here it looked like the right call.
Yeah, I thought it was the right call. That time it was Boggs just trying to move away. It was a good pressure applied on the backside by Bermudez and just trying to rip it out, force a jump ball maybe, and that time Boggs took a couple steps just trying to get away.
Gilliard thought about the shot, doesn't take it, gets it down low to Young. Young has that blocked away by Manfredo. And picked up, given to Sims. Sims now pushing it up the court for the Fighting Scots, trying to get something before halftime as the final 30 seconds tick away. Manfredo tried to find someone down low. Quick pull-up jumper. No good off the glass. Rebounded by Manfredo herself. Gentile for 3. Doesn't take it. Sims now going to let the clock wind down ever so slightly. There's about a 4-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Sims gets to Gentile. Gonna double team, gets to Williams, over to Manfredo. Wide open is Hope in the corner, no good. Grab the ball, Coach Strom is saying, as Williams will push it up the court. Shot is up, no good off the front of the iron. And at halftime, California will go to the locker room up by 5. California 40, Edinboro Fighting Scots 35. We have another half of Vulcan basketball right here on CTV, CTV Sports 1, and the PSAC Digital Network. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
The Vulcan women's basketball team looks to continue its run of excellence into the 2024 season. Put on your red and black and cheer on Coach Jess Strom and her team towards another run to the postseason. Pack the convo for 14 home games for games against regional foes and the best the PSAC has to offer. Don't miss any information on the season by following Cal Vulcans on all social media accounts, and if you can't make it to the games, catch all the action on CUTV Sports 1 on YouTube and also the PSAC Digital Network.
1 in 10 kids vape. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Talk to your child about vaping today.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Macomb Fieldhouse in cold and windy Edinboro, Pennsylvania, for the second half action of this PSAC West women's basketball matchup, where the Fighting Scots of Edinboro, Pennsylvania, host the California Vulcans. Right now, the Vulcans are up 40-35 over the home team, and Hunter Garman joins me by John Sapin. Sape, it's been an interesting first half.
Yeah, it's a little feisty there. I think everybody in the building is starting to get a little up in arms, a little bit antsy. I think after that first quarter where the Fighting Scots played very sloppily, they had 10 turnovers in that first quarter. They're really able to clean it up, able to close the gap a little bit and make it a much more interesting game down the stretch here for the second half of play.
Yeah, as you said, Edinboro with 10 turnovers in the first quarter only had, 2 in the second quarter? So definitely a massive improvement in the second quarter, and looking to continue to prove on that. Cut the lead down to 5. At one point, I believe it was almost 12 or 14, but able to cut it down to 5 going into halftime, and looking to change the course and take the lead and potentially take home the victory.
And a couple of different stat lines we can talk about from some of the players. Talia Gilliard, 9 points, 2 rebounds, and assists, and 4 steals. Played all 20 minutes in that first half. And the leading scorer for the Vulcans, Alicia Young, a quiet 12 points, 5 for 8 from the field with 3 rebounds and a steal, assist, and a block as well. So really filling up the stat sheet. And then for the Fighting Scots, Haddad, 11 points, 4 for 4 from the field, perfect, with an assist as well. And then Rachel Manfredo off the bench, 10 points, 7 rebounds, 4 blocks in that first half. It was really been just a key piece for the Fighting Scots this game off the bench for him.
Yeah, definitely the Fighting Scots have a bunch of star players on their team. I mean, the whole team, to be fair, full of stars for the Fighting Scots. And usually, you said with Harris having herself a quiet, good game, that's usually typical of Alicia Harris that we've noticed. That she'll have a quiet, good game with 10, 12 points, and then it really just kind of appears, or you blink and you look over and oh, she has 14, 16, 18, maybe 20 points in the game. And as we get underway here, Edinboro will start with the ball. Obviously, basketball rules, sides flip. So Edinboro starts, Gentile over to Manfredo, down low to Boggs. And just like that, Edinboro's off to a 2-0 start.
And Boggs got switched on to Shaw that time, and again, Shaw, not the biggest defender, and the Fighting Scots able to take advantage of the mismatch.
Williams now on the far side. Dumps it down low to Harris, able to get it. Harris up, no good. Fought for and off her leg, and it will be Edinboro basketball.
California trying to emulate what Edinboro just did. Harris able to just jump up and grab the ball over 2 defenders, but a little bit stronger defense that time by the Fighting Scots forced the missed basket.
Sims with the quick pull-up. No good, in and out. Rebounded by Harris. Gets it to Shaw. Shaw to Gilliard. Long three-pointer by Gilliard off the back of the rim. No good. Rebounded by, I believe that's Manfredo. And foul will be called.
It's just a silly foul to give if you're Alicia Young. Just a rebound that you're probably not going to be able to get to in that time. Went over the back, just tried to get it over Haddad, and a very quick early foul here in this third quarter for Alicia Young.
Boggs at the top now, trying to get to somebody. Boggs going to take it herself, working against Shaw. Layup up, no good, rebounded by Williams. Williams will push it up the court for California now. Gets it down low to Harris, wide open underneath the net, and the layup up and good.
And just some miscommunication in transition as that time Harris just ran straight down the middle of the court, and somebody had to pick up the ball, and that left Harris wide open underneath for the easy basket.
Gentile working against Shaw. Gets it to Sims. Sims now on the move, switch off to Harris. Has that taken away, pick it up. Give it to Gentile. Gentile now on the cut, working against Harris. Makes a nice move. And the layup's good. Gilliard looked like she stood in there, tried to take a charge. No whistle.
And a great move that time by Gentile, just a crossover from left to right. Had Harris freeze for just a moment, and that's just enough space that Morgan Gentile will need to get to the basket.
And Morgan Gentile, one of the top scorers for this Edinboro team, as Young tries to get the push. Foul will be called.
And after a scoreless first quarter, Gentile now 7 points and 4 assists in 19 minutes.
They're going to get Boggs on that foul. It's her second. Team's first of the quarter. Since it occurred on the floor, Nina Shaw will inbound for California. Shaw gets the inbound off to Harris, over to Young. Young, quick pull-up jumper from the elbow, up and good.
Yeah, Young just so efficient in the mid-range, and if you give her just any sort of space around the elbow, she's going to take it. And what is that now? 12 points for her, 14 for her.
Stolen away by Harris, able to pick it back up. Or not Harris, excuse me, Young. It's to Williams. Foul will be called. I'm not sure exactly what happened. It was an off-ball whistle. They might be trying to fix something. Maybe the shot clock was a little off.
Yeah, and another referee discussion at the scores table.
First half has had, according to at least the fans from the noise, some questionable calls, but we get back underway. Not sure again what that was about, but inbound to Shaw. Pushes it to the far side, gets to Harris down low. Harris, nice dribble, move, and the layup up and good.
And Harris is so good with the power dribbles, just able to get into the lane and just, again, just so good at picking her spots, finding where she's most effective and able to get underneath. And another foul for Young on the back end. That's 2 quick fouls in the first 3 minutes of this second quarter here for Alicia Young.
It's going to be her second, the team's second. Gentile to inbound for the Fighting Scots. Gets to McDuffie. Gets it back to Gentile. Down low is Manfredo. Manfredo working against Harris. Shots up and good.
Yeah, it was a good defense that time by Harris, but when you're so far underneath the basket, it's really hard to be to affect a shot like that. And great positioning underneath by Manfredo in an easy basket.
Gilliard now, quick step back jumper. No good. Rebounded by Williams. Came flying in there. Able to get it down low to Gilliard. Has that blocked away, and it will stay Vulcan ball.
Yeah, great job crashing the boards that time offensively by Williams, and just a nice little behind the, just no look bounce pass underneath, finds Gilliard, but there's just so many players in the lane there for Edinboro that one of them got a piece of it.
Inbound to Shaw. Tried to get it to Williams down low, but will just roll out of bounds. Will be a turnover for the Fighting Scots. Vulcans showing some pressure on the inbound.
Yeah, unfortunate that time by Shaw. Had the right idea as everyone was trying to kind of tailing out towards the three-point line, just trying to pass the ball into space for someone to run onto and hold up, but nobody on the Vulcans on the same page as her.
Shaw working against Sims, doing a good job at keeping up with Sims. Sims trying to get her to lose. Another foul will be called. These refs not exactly the most lenient, calling what seems to be every little thing. That's the third of this quarter for California, and Nina Shaw's third foul of the game. Gentile to inbound. Gets it to Haddad. Haddad working against Williams. Shot up, no good. Ball tipped away. Picked up by Williams, who's going to push it up the court now. Has a one-on-one. Lost it for a moment. Layup up, good though, regardless.
Some phenomenal basketball that time by Ayanna Williams. Just super powerful. Gets the ball off the tip and just enough power to take it coast to coast.
Harris playing uptight defense. Tries to get it down low, and that's going to be tipped out, and it's going to stay Fighting Scots ball.
Again, we see the Vulcans willing to switch often on these give-and-go type of passes, and that time Williams was a little bit late but did just enough to get a hand on it and tip it out of bounds and prevent the easy bucket.
Quick three ball by Sims. Up good, clean, count it. Haley Sims, nice shot there. Shaw up the court now for California. Gets it down to Harris. Young on the cut, tries to find something. Able to keep her foot on the floor and get up the shot. That taken away by Williams, able to get it out. Tried to hit it off of a Fighting Scot, no good. It's going to be picked up by Manfredo. Manfredo lost it for a second, able to recover. Both teams trying to go insanely quickly. And whistle was called.
Yeah, the ball was poked out of play by the Vulcans, and I don't know how on that last offensive possession Harris was able to keep her foot from moving on the floor, just able to plant the stick in the ground, hold it, nail it to the floor, and able to keep it and able to get past her defender for the basket.
Gentile wide open for three. Absolute laser. Morgan Gentile starting to get hot here in this third quarter.
And again, just the Vulcans switching defensively in that time. Nobody came out to get in front of Gentile. And an offensive foul, and Shaw with the charge. That's going to be her 4th foul. And foul number 4 of the quarter. California running into foul trouble once again.
It's the 4th team foul, 4th for Shaw, as the immediate timeout will commence. And as we look at the PSAC West standings, we see Seton Hill at the top, undefeated in conference play, sitting at 17-1 overall. Gannon at what looks to be 9-2 in conference at 17-3 overall. IUP, which the Vulcans will see next week, or on Wednesday, sitting at 9-2 at 14-3. Edinboro, as we said, 9-2, 14-4. And as you see it now, in today's installment on Get to Know Your Crew, we have Jimmy Salvatore's favorite food, steak with sauteed green beans. Can't say, well, it's a good choice. Favorite movie, The Gentleman. Favorite sports team, the Pittsburgh Pirates. There's a lot there to unpack with that one. And the favorite musician are the Lumineers. And you can follow and keep up with everything here on CUTV Sports 1 on YouTube, and follow us on all of our social media platforms.
Yeah, to break down a couple of those things, the PSAC West standings, like I said, kind of have a tiered hierarchy where you have Seton Hill up top, and then you have 3 teams at 9-2, and then you have California and Clarion in the pack at 6-5. So if the Vulcans able to win this game, they would move to 7-5 in conference play, try to break into that next tier up, where you have 2 tough games back-to-back against Edinboro and IUP on Wednesday. And also, shout out James Salvatore on camera too for us here today, and had a couple pretty good choices. I like the Pittsburgh Pirates, but like you said, there's a lot to unpack there.
The inbound goes to Gentile. Now to Manfredo, over to Sims. Sims working against Gilliard. Nice movement by Sims, able to get the shot up, and the floater is good. Count it. What a move by Haley Sims. Bermudez now up the court for California in the absence of Shaw, who's sitting at 4 fouls, as we said. Bermudez trying to find something, gets to Williams at the top at the elbow. Down low to Harris. Now works, drives baseline, working against Haddad, I believe. Gets it to Young on the cutback, and the layup is good.
Great movement that time by Young, just going to Harris's aid and able to just cut back door, able to just get the good positioning inside, and a great finish.
That ball is blocked away by Harris, able to pick up by Young. Bermudez now on the break. Has Gilliard tried to get the long cut, but the off-the-glass shot is good by Gilliard.
And that's just excellent body control that time by Gilliard. It's so hard to stop when you're underneath the basket just running so fast. It just collects that pass from Bermudez, able to stop on a dime and turn around and flick it in high off the glass.
Gentile down low look to Manfredo, and it's good.
Defensive lapse that time by the Vulcans. And again, they're just so eager to switch that you just left the Fighting Scots wide open underneath.
As Young off the side of the glass for 3, no good. Picked up by McDuffie. Gentile now up the court for the Fighting Scots. Gets it low to Manfredo. Tries to find somebody down low. Has to get it to Sims. Sims on the cutaway for Haddad, and it's up and good.
And we've seen this play run a few times by the Fighting Scots, where they just have a couple of these bigger players just sealing off with the back to the three-point line and just waiting for a lob in, and that time wide open underneath once again is Edinboro, and they'll take another easy basket.
Ayanna Williams now down low trying to work against McDuffie. Shots up, no good off the front of the iron. Picked up by Sims, able to keep her dribble. Gets to McDuffie now, who's on a break. Gets it to Manfredo, all alone, layup up and good. And just like that, the Fighting Scots have taken the lead. And a timeout will be called by Coach Strom, and they'll go to talk things over.
Edinboro is just relentless from the field. In this quarter, shooting 72% from the field. 8 for 11 overall and outscoring the Vulcans 18-14. They have not missed almost at all in this quarter. They're 7 for their last 8 and 4 for their last 5 from behind the arc. They've really been able to find their offensive groove. This entire game shooting 58% as a team.
And just like that, with all this, Edinboro finds themselves at still a 1-point lead nonetheless, but a lead overall. Looking to try and continue this now as the final 2 minutes tick away of the corner before or after this timeout.
Just some very impressive play by Rachel Manfredo. 20 minutes in this game, 16 points, 7 for 8 from the field, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal, and 4 blocks in this game for Edinboro. Just really filling up the stat sheet and playing a crucial part here for the Fighting Scots.
It makes you wonder what exactly Edinboro went over in the locker room. Coach Wheeler in her 6th season as the Edinboro head coach, no stranger to the campus herself, as she was here in her own time as a basketball player. So, yeah, no stranger to this program, and wondered what exactly she went over in that locker room.
A graduate of the 07 class, I believe. And like I said, it also makes you think if they would have not had all those turnovers in that first quarter, it was 10 in the first quarter, and since then only 4 in the last 2 quarters. If they were able to have a little bit cleaner play in quarter number 1, what the score would be right now.
Definitely would look a lot different, at least one can infer, as Bermudez brings it up the court for the Vulcans, trying to get something going to answer to this run, as she's going to take it herself, and the layup up and good.
Not really Bermudez's game, but that time I just had a little bit of a lane, able to drive to the basket, and even with all the bodies around her, able to finish.
Gentile at the top, trying to get some traffic moving. Nice spin move on Ayanna Williams. She's going to take it herself. Layup up. No problem. Morgan Gentile starting to show why she's one of the top scorers for this Fighting Scots offense.
12 points and 6 assists now in the game for Gentile.
As that foul will be called, and Harris takes a hard fall. Or not Harris, excuse me. Young takes a hard fall, and she'll go to the line for 2. As Haddad goes out, and Ashton Boggs will check in for the Fighting Scots. And that foul went against Rachel Manfredo. That's her second, team second. Alicia Young at the line. First shot off the front of the rim, no good. Young now looking to try and tie the game at 57 apiece. Off the back, no good. Rebounded by McDuffie.
We've seen that twice now where she missed the first 2 free throws, made the second pair, and then just missed a pair of free throws once again.
As a beautiful lob pass to Manfredo. And that shot up and good. Now pushing the Fighting Scots lead up to 3 and looking to try and keep that going here into the 4th quarter. Williams down to Kamaya Williams. Kamaya Williams trying to work her way down low, kicks it back out to Bermudez. Bermudez trying to put some moves on Gentile. Williams, layup up, no good, but is fouled, and she'll go to the line for 2.
The Fighting Scots on a 10-2 run, and they've been getting some really high-level looks. 10 for their last 11 from the field. They've really been able to just get all the cogs moving here offensively.
That foul was on Ashton Boggs. It's her 3rd, team's 3rd, and Harris will return for Ayanna Williams for the California. His first shot by Kamali Williams rattles around and is good. Williams now trying to look to bring this deficit back to 1. Trying to make it a back and forth game as that shot is up and good.
4 points and 4 rebounds in this game here for Kamaya Williams.
Gentile looks down low, has that tipped away by Kamaya Williams. Great defense, as not even the ref is blowing any kind of whistle, as Bermudez is able to get back up, has Gilliard on the low look, fires for 3, no good. Picked up by Manfredo. Deep pass to Gentile now. Gets it to Boggs. Boggs drives the baseline, reverse layup, no good. Picked up by Young, who brings it back up the court now without wasting time. Now decides to finally slow it down, let everyone get up and get set.
Just a strange set of events there. I think a whistle probably should have been called on somebody and that screen, it was a hard screen set by Bermudez, but the Vulcans now holding things off as the shot clock and the game clock synced up here at the end of the third.
As Young there, able to beat defender, as that blocked out by who else? Morgan Gentile having herself an absolute game in this third quarter.
Yeah, up to 12 points, 7 assists, 2 blocks now for Morgan Gentile.
Harris back to Bermudez for the shot, no good, rebounded by Manfredo, and that's going to end the third quarter. California finds himself at a 1-point deficit, 58 points to the Edinboro Fighting Scots 59. We got one more quarter right here on CTV Sports 1 and the PSAC Digital Network. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
The Vulcan women's basketball team looks to continue its run of excellence into the 2024 season. Put on your red and black and cheer on Coach Jess Strom and her team towards another run to the postseason. Pack the convo for 14 home games for games against regional foes and the best the PSAC has to offer. Don't miss any information on the season by following Cal Vulcans on all social media accounts, and if you can't make it to the games, catch all the action on CUTV Sports 1 on YouTube and also the PSAC Digital Network.
1 in 10 kids vape. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Talk to your child about vaping today.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Macomb Fieldhouse here in Erie County, Pennsylvania, home of the Edinboro University Fighting Scots, where they find themselves at a 1-point lead here going into the fourth quarter. We're down by 5 at halftime and have come rallying back, having themselves an excellent third quarter. And I have a feeling that this game will come down to the final seconds.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. In that third quarter, Edinboro 11 for 15 from the field, 24 points. That's a 73% clip, and they've really been able to get these high-quality looks. And California defensively have not really been able to find an answer, and they've been doing it all over the court. They've been able to knock down shots from behind the arc. They're 4 for 6 from 3. They've been able to get themselves into the paint, able to get these shots very close to the basket, and have made it a lot easier on themselves. And after that tough first quarter, they've been able to rebound pretty strong.
California struggling to find something as they now not are totally without Nina Shaw, but it looks like it might be like that for the rest of the game as another whistle is blown. And it looks like the shot clock did not start. Not sure exactly now what the refs are conferring about. This is about the fourth time, I believe, they've stopped the game for a reason unbeknownst to us.
Yeah, I think the shot clock was a second off from the game clock. They switched it from 26 seconds to 25 and now back to 26. Now they added an extra second on. So now it's 9:56 remaining in the quarter and 26 seconds remaining on the game clock. So just a bit of a sinking issue.
Inbound gets to Bermudez, back to Gilliard. As I was saying, not totally without Nina Shaw, but she has 4 fouls. Gentile tried to take that one away, and the long 2 ball is good by Bermudez.
Very lucky that time that pass wasn't stolen away. That's a couple times that Gentile has tried to gamble for it, and it doesn't pay off, as all Bermudez needs is one dribble to relocate and an easy 3-pointer for her, and the Vulcans retake the lead.
As that was poked away by Young. Great defense, but able to pick it back up as Gentile. Manfredo now at the foul line. Tries to get to McDuffie down low. Able to secure it. Layup no good. Fought for, and a foul will be called. And it's going to be Vulcan basketball as the foul is against Edinboro. And I believe it's going to be on Ashton Boggs. That's her 4th. Team's first of the quarter as she'll go out. And Ava Haddad will come back in.
Yeah, McDuffie signaling to her teammates, that was my bad. That's a layup that you got to make, especially in such a close contest like this. And they're going to mark that Bermuda shot as a long 2. So it will be a 1-point lead here for California. And looks like they're cleaning up a bit of sweat underneath the Vulcan basket.
It looked like on that Sierra Bermudez long 2 that the bench wanted it to be a 3, but she did have her feet within the arc. So it is a good call of being a long 2. As Bermudez now up the court with a 1-point lead, trying to rally something here as the final minutes will start to tick away. Alicia Young, step back jumper, no good. Rebound fought for, picked up by Kamaya Williams, brought back out, potentially looking to just reset things here. Tried to get it down to Harris, heavily guarded, able to get it to her. Harris put back up, and it's good.
And that's just great positioning again by Harris. She's just so good at sealing defenders off underneath and creating space for her to go up with easy baskets. And that time, Williams just lobs it into the paint. Harris comes down with it, and it's another basket for Harris. That's 12 points now for her.
Sims gets to Haddad. Foul will be called and a charge. That's going to be a turnover in favor of California as Bermuda is able to stand in there, take the contact, and that's going to be Haddad's third foul, so definitely having to watch herself a little bit. And already the Fighting Scots are at 2 team fouls, so definitely something that California can potentially try and capitalize on and get themselves maybe into the bonus, try and get some points.
And they're going to pick up a third underneath as I think it was Sims caught a piece of Gilliard on the backside. So 3 quick fouls in less than 2 minutes to start this quarter. And like you said, it's a great way for the Vulcans to stat pad in this game and to keep themselves with the lead.
Gilliard on the nice move and the layup up and good. As the long pass has it tipped away and out, and it's going to be Vulcan ball. They're going to say it came off the hands of Haddad. Right now, California definitely looking like they've brought some things in and trying to get it going here.
Just the game of inches, that was so close to being an excellent pass and just a little bit off the mark. And like you said, it comes off of a Vulcan player, so it will be California basketball.
Nice
Young
move.
Underneath, can't make the layup.
That would have been a crucial layup by Young, but rebounded by Manfredo up to Gentile, who's going to slow it down. Now going to take it herself. Picks up the dribble, gets it to Haddad at the foul line. Decides she's going to take it herself, working against Williams, and the layup up and good.
And that's a 4-point swing where the Vulcans, you lose 2 points off of that missed layup, and then Edinboro able to respond in kind on the back end and get 2 points of their own.
Gilliard now at the top, working against Sims. Gilliard now, step back jumper off the glass, no good. Rebounded by Manfredo. Sims now up the court, trying to push it. Decides she's going to take it herself. Gets it back out to Gentile. Down low to Haddad against Gilliard. Shots up and good.
Haddad just taking the mismatch and exploiting it that time, just able to lower the shoulder into Gilliard. And I think Gilliard fell down a little bit earlier. Has had a couple of falls in this quarter, so maybe a little bit slower on the bounce, and Haddad took advantage of it, able to just lower the shoulder, get into the lane, and finish off the glass and cut things back down to 1.
Coach Strom was the one who called the timeout for California. And speaking of Coach Strom, we can take a look on the screen there. You can see an advertisement for the Coach Jess Strom Show. The recent episode went out, I believe, on Wednesday or something similar to that. But you can find the Jess Strom Show every week on CUTV Sports 1 on YouTube. And if you're local, you can find it on Armstrong Cable Network and Cablecast and all of those fun goodies, but mainly on CTV Sports 1 here on YouTube.
Yeah, Coach Tetzlaw, Coach Strom, have a lot of fun on the show. You get to get a little bit more insight into Coach Strom. Very
passionate.
On the court, yes. In the video, maybe doesn't like to show her cards as much, but very passionate, national champion, former great Penn State guard.
In her 14th season as Vulcan head coach, so no stranger to the program.
Yeah, now I believe this year that will be the 10th anniversary of that national championship winning team.
In March.
Very few people have accomplished what Coach Strom has, and like you talked about, no stranger to the program, and one of the all-time greats here in charge of the Vulcans.
Yep, trying to see if she can rally her troops to a victory here, pulling off what people would consider an upset based on the standings, and try and claw their way into a good postseason run potentially. As inbound to Shaw, Bermudez working against double team now, has to try and get somebody, and that's going to go off of Gentile, off her leg, and out of bounds. Great instincts by Bermudez to try and save it and get the ball back.
Yeah, last resort there for Bermudez, just ran into the brick wall as McDuffie and Gentile tried to trap her, and just nice, savvy move that time.
Bermudez able to get it to Gilliard now, back to Bermudez, thought about the shot. Has Harris wide open down low, gets Manfredo to miss and gets the layup up and good.
And Harris is so good at that little head fake, just went up with the head, got a defender to bite, and then went right underneath of her and passed her into the basket. 14 points now for Harris.
3-point game here as Sims with the 3 ball counted. It's good. Tie game now. 6:30 and counting left in this fourth quarter. Bermudez working against Gentile. Tries to get it to somebody. Has Williams wide open on the other side. Tries to get it to Harris, and that's going to be batted out. And it's going to stay Vulcan basketball.
Edinboro now 5 for 7 from 3. They've really been efficient on these outside shots in this game.
And a charge will be called. That's going to be Harris. It's going to be a foul on Harris. That's Haddad taking the contact. That's going to be Harris's 3rd foul. And Shaw will come back in. Bermudez will come out. Again, as we said, Shaw having to watch herself a little bit as she's on currently 4 fouls. 1 more and her game is done. Gentile gets it to Manfredo. Down low to Gentile again, and the layup up and good.
That's where you got to be careful. They saw Shaw come back in, and they immediately try to pick on her, like you said, on 4 fouls. So she can't really play too hard at defense or else she's out of the game.
Shaw trying to make some moves, just tries to fire that into Harris. Wasn't ready for it. Off her face, picked up by Gentile. A little bit of miscommunication there. Harris trying to play all the kinds of defense she can. Gets it down low. McDuffie back up for 3. Off the side, no good. And it's going to be Cal basketball.
I think I was just a little unlucky that time. I think Kamaya Williams, is on the near side wing, and I think Shaw was just trying to fire it over to her, but Harris just in the line of sight and in the path just takes it straight to the dome.
Shaw now up the court for California. Trying to set things. Nice tight coverage by the Fighting Scots. Young down low. Layup no good. Rebounded. Taken away by Harris. Battle round fought for. Jump ball will be called. Possession arrow favors the Fighting Scots. And it will be their ball.
And you just see the Vulcans quickly onto the scene there, just willing to hop on top of it, get the possession arrow back in their favor as after the missed shot, just everybody swarming in and around the basket, just trying to grab that offensive rebound.
Coach Wheeler and the bench looked like they were looking for a technical as the ball just kind of gets kicked around towards the ref. No whistle. As Manfredo down low has it originally tipped by Gilliard, and it's going to be against Young. And Manfredo will go to the line for 2.
Yeah, Manfredo really got thrown off by Gilliard coming over in defense, and Young just a fraction too late to try to block that shot. Just caught the back of Manfredo's arm, and Manfredo with a double-double in this one. 18 points, 12 rebounds, 4 blocks in this game off the bench.
It was Harris's 3rd foul of the game. Team's 2nd is the first shot. Up and good by Manfredo. As Bermudez came back in for Shaw. 2nd shot up and good. 4-point lead now for the Fighting Scots. 5 minutes remaining in the game. Bermudez coming in for Shaw. A little bit of offense for defense. Shaw gets down low to Harris. Harris spinning around, trying to find something. Has that tipped away. Picked up by Gilliard. Again, Fighting Scots bench wanted to travel. Doesn't get it. 3 ball no good. Picked up by McDuffie. Now gets to Manfredo. Trying to find somebody to set things up. Gets it to Gentile. Pass was tipped away. Lost it for a moment. Gets it back to Haddad. Back to Gentile. No travel called. Looked like she took one too many steps, but no whistle blown. Down low. McDuffie wide open. Layup up and good.
Yeah, when you just have these prolonged possessions where everybody isn't able to set themselves effectively on defense, you just have everybody moving around, and then McDuffie was able to lose the marker and finds herself wide open underneath the basket. And Edinboro with a 6-point lead now.
Young working against Manfredo. Layup up, no good. Rebounded by Harris. Has to try and fight for something. Foul's called, and she'll go to the line for 2.
And again, that's just where she's so effective, is in and around the glass. Just the glass cleaner, able to just get up, grab any rebound in the area. And that'll be foul number 4 for Haddad.
As Iona Williams comes back in for Young, and Haddad will go out for Ashton Boggs. Ashton Boggs also on 4 fouls, so a couple Fighting Scots on 4 fouls. Definitely something to keep in mind if you're California. Try and get some of these players out the game for the final few minutes.
Yeah, when you see them on the court, it's something that you got to just try to attack, try to exploit, because you know that they're not going to be able to play as tight of coverage on defense. They're not going to be as aggressive, so that gives you an opportunity to go at them.
Harris, second shot off the back of the rim, no good. And able to pick up her own rebound. Gets it to Bermudez, who's able to come flying back. Whistle called. Not really sure, again, what this is about. Again, it might be a shot clock issue.
Yeah, I think it was since it was a missed free throw, the shot clock it's not the full 30, I believe, so they had to adjust it as they gave the Vulcans too much time on the shot clock.
May have also been that it didn't exactly start right away. Kamai Williams gets the handoff back to Bermudez. Down low to Harris. Harris working against Manfredo. Has it blocked. Goes to put it back up. Up and good. Foul counts. Bucket counts. She'll go to the line for potential three-point play to bring it within 2.
And she's really putting the team on her back here now. That's 17. Can make it 18 at the line, and she's just been a force inside. 8 for 16 from the field, all inside, in and around the paint, and Alicia Harris is having herself a game.
That's McDuffie with the foul. That's her third. So again, more and more Fighting Scots getting up there in fouls as the Vulcans now in the bonus as well, so definitely something to exploit for the final few minutes. As that shot by Harris up and good. 2-point game, 3 minutes, 40 seconds and counting left in the game. Definitely going to, as we said at the start, going to come down to the wire here as Gentile trying to set things, trying to milk as much clock as possible to try and take home this win. Sims working against Shaw. Nice coverage. Shot up, no good. Bobbled around, fought for by Boggs, but able to be pushed out, and it will be California ball as the sub will come in. Offense for defense, and Bermudez comes in for Shaw.
And that's what you have to do if you're the Fighting Scots. You gave the ball to one of your better shot creators in Sims on the far side and let her go one-on-one with Shaw. And that time Shaw held strong, played some good defense, was able to get the stop. And like you said, Bermudez comes in now as she has that three-point ability.
Bermudez on the dribble take, off the glass, no good. Rebounded by McDuffie, but fought for, jump ball called, and it will be in favor of California.
And again, the Vulcans never give up on these plays. Great hustle that time by Bermudez. Saw the opportunity and took it, able to just get her hands on top of the ball, force the jump ball, and give the Vulcans an extra possession here.
Bermudez to inbound for California. Things definitely getting tense. Gets to Harris. Harris down low, trying to drive baseline. Step back, jumper no good. Off the back of the backboard. Has that blocked away, but foul called instead. Crowd and bench not happy, as I believe that foul is going to go against Manfredo. That's her third. Team's 6th, I believe, but it doesn't matter. She'll go to the line anyway.
That one will be on Manfredo, and Manfredo was trying to plead her case that she just went straight up with it, but I guess they said it was just enough contact against Harris, and now has a chance to tie it at the line.
Again, offense for defense as Bermudez comes out. Shaw goes back in. That first shot from Harris, no good off the glass.
But I don't want to take it away from Manfredo. 20 points, 13 rebounds, 5 blocks, and 4 assists in this game.
Second shot by Harris, no good. Nearly picked up by Shaw.
That's a good heads-up play by Shaw that time as the ball was trailing out of bounds, was able to just get in front of McDuffie enough to prevent her from grabbing that ball as it was tailing out of bounds, and the Vulcans get themselves another possession here on offense.
As Young and Williams, Bermudez and Williams come in. Bermudez gets to Ayanna Williams. Williams, quick pull up from the foul line, got it. Tie game, 2:50 and counting left. Gentile up the court. Gentile in the near elbow, going to take it herself. Layup up, good. Inbound to Ayanna Williams. Kicks it over to Bermudez on the near side.
Well, the crowd's starting to get it more into it here. 2:20 now left to play here.
Bermudez bobbled around, fighting for it. Jump ball called, possession in favor of the Fighting Scots. Again, subs coming in, offense for defense. Shaw comes in for Bermudez. And Boggs comes in. And Haddad comes in for Boggs. California playing some heavy pressure now for obvious reasons. Final 2 minutes trying to get some points, down by 2. Timeout called by the Fighting Scots. Final 2 minutes and counting in this game. As you can see on the screen now, Wednesday, 5:30, 7:30, IUP comes to California. Another matchup game that definitely matters going into more PSAC West play, as both men and women's will square off. Women's at 5:30, men at 7:30. You can find both those games right here on CUTV Sports 1 and the PSAC Digital Network. Who knows, the way things have been going so far in the spring semester, it might be you and I on the call again.
It's certainly shaping up to be like that, but again, it's coming down to the stretch here. Both teams really just going back and forth at each other. At this point, it's all about who can get a couple of stops in a row, because if you go basket for basket, Edinboro wins. If you're the Vulcans, you need to come up with a couple of defensive stops here down the stretch at the end of this fourth quarter.
Inbound to Gentile on the far side, working against Gilliard at the moment. Sachi's going to take it herself. Vulcans collapsing, gets it out to McDuffie. Long two, no good. Picked up by Shaw. Shaw up the court now, kicks it over to Young. Young trying to make a move, gets to Williams. Decides to cut in. Quick step through, layup up and good. Tie game again, 1:45 and counting remaining in this fourth quarter. Vulcans showing some pressure. Full court. Harris against Sims, able to keep pace for now. Sims trying to push it up all the way. Floater up and good. What a shot by Sims. And again, 2-point game. Shaw now up the court to Williams. Hand off to Gilliard. Gets it to Williams again. Williams is going to try the three ball. Up and good. Ayana Williams for three. Just like that, it's a 1-point game now in favor of California.
We haven't seen her much in this second half, but she's really taking the reins here for the Vulcans. 5 points in the last 2 possessions, back-to-back buckets for Ayana Williams.
Gentile on the dribble take, layup up, good. No, just kidding. Came off the rim, but she will go to the line for 2.
Yeah, the slow roller and so close, and now we're under a minute left. Williams will pick up her third. Bermudez will check back in, and some important and impactful free throws here from Morgan Gentile. Already 2 for 2 in the game from the line, shooting 80% on the season, and the biggest free throws of the game now here from Morgan Gentile.
So we can see in the corner over by the Edinboro bench, the Cal men's looking to get ready. It's Gentile's first shot up and good. Both men's teams will square off at 3 p.m. after the conclusion of this game. We will be around here. Roles will be switched. Second shot by Gentile up and good. 1-point game. Final minute and counting in the fourth quarter. Timeout by Cal. Coach Strom looking to talk things over, get it on her side. We are approaching the stress time, as people call it, for basketball. Final minutes, going to be back and forth. You're going to hear a lot of whistles.
Yeah, it's crunch time, and this is where there's a decent bit of strategy in play, because the Vulcans already in the bonus. So if they're able to get a shot here, if they're able to knock down a shot, reclaim the lead, and it's where the strategy comes in. Do you decide to foul? All sorts of things, and especially if you miss, you're going to look to foul. You got to see who on your team you want to give the fouls to, who you're going to try to funnel the ball into on the Edinboro team to try and get your best chance of making the free throws. And again, this is where a ton of strategy goes in. So the Vulcans right now are running over exactly what kind of plays they want to run out of this set after the timeout in the huddle. And then Coach Drum's also making sure it's like, if we miss this, we need to foul immediately. We need to make sure that we foul somebody, potentially won't be able to knock down the free throws, and it gives you a better chance of winning.
While we have a moment before we kick off, we'd like to give a shout out to our friend Matthew Kiefer, our sports information person here for California. You can follow all of that on calvulcanathletics.com. As we get back of the way, final minute here. Bermudez at the top, working against Chantal, gets to Williams. Williams driving baseline. Reverse layup off the glass, good. Whistle called, timeout. Edinboro. She will move it to their side of the court.
Ayanna Williams now 11 points this afternoon, or make it 13 after that basket, and what a great play. You got to feed the hot hand, and that time drove baseline, reverse layup up and in, and the Vulcans with a big basket. And again, now it's, can you get a stop on defense? This second half, Edinboro 18 for 27 from the field. They've been able to knock down their shots. Can the Vulcans find one stop here down the stretch?
As you said before the Cal timeout, it is truly crunch time here. As Coach Strom trying to go over things. As we said before we tipped off, again, we'd like to give a shout out to our sports information person, Matthew Kiefer, good friend of ours here at CUTV. You can find all of that and more at calvulcanathletics.com.
And on social media, I believe, Twitter, Instagram, Cal Vulcans as well.
Yep.
Follow everything up to date for Vulcan Athletics.
I'd also like to give a shout out to all of my friends and family watching at home. I know my dad said that he's watching, and a couple of our friends are watching as well. So shout out to everyone at home in Mechanicsburg watching in for some intense Vulcan basketball.
Home of Talia Gilliard and home of Hunter Garman.
Yep. Inbound. Morgan Gentile to inbound. Gets it to Sims. Seconds start to tick down. Back to Gentile now. Vulcans have to play some tight defense here, but not give up, try and give up too many fouls. Gentile on the break. Kicks it back out to Sims. Sims, final seconds of counting. Euro steps through. Layup, good. 1 point game again. Timeout called. That'll be the final timeout for the Vulcans. With 21 seconds, shot clock is not a factor anymore. It is just the game clock.
I believe at one point in this game, Haley Sims was 1 for 7 from the field. Now 5 for 13, 13 points for on the afternoon, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and a block. Has really started to pick it up in this second half and has made a couple of tough buckets. That was a great drive inside. Able to just finish with that left hand off the glass, and we've been having a go at it here, and both teams going blow for blow. It's like I said before, it's about who can get one stop here on defense.
And that one stop on defense will potentially be Edinboro, as Cal with the ball now, no shot clock, so they will try and potentially push it to the final shot. All you need to win the game is anything from the field, even a 3, or get fouled and make both free throws. Make one, we go to OT here in the Macomb Fieldhouse.
And this is where strategy comes into play again. Do you take a quick shot? Do you try to knock it down? Or do you hold it for the last shot and potentially miss out on not making it at the buzzer?
Final seconds here. 10 seconds left and counting. Have to get something up here. Williams trying to get something. Step back, 2-pointer. It's short. Fought for. Picked up by the Vulcans. But it doesn't happen. They fall short. The Fighting Scots take home the victory, 80-79. What a game.
Just the final scramble for it. Just got everybody up on their feet. It was a close one, and the Vulcans potentially could have had one more shot off, but just not enough time. And Fighting Scots, after a bad first quarter, really were able to steer the ship back in.
Stay tuned for the men's game coming up here soon on the CUTV Sports 1. My name is Hunter Garman, joined with me, John Sabe. Thank you, and we'll see you later.